Visiting here with Abe Hughes, Vice President of New Holland North America. Abe, we're here at New Holland headquarters in Pennsylvania. You've brought in some folks in the media from the construction industry. Tell me a little bit about this event we got going on.
Well, Chuck, as you know, starting in January, we brought the construction brand, the New Holland construction brand, together with the New Holland agriculture brand, all back together in one family. It had been apart. We had been taken apart about 15 years ago, and through lots of discussions internally, we felt that this was the right time to bring these two great brands right back together again, managed by the agriculture folks, my team.
Well, you're doing that. It's like an integration, if you will, of I guess the marketing departments are now one. That's got to be maybe having some efficiencies, some benefits. What are some of those things?
Well, it goes beyond marketing. It's marketing, it's sales, it's service, it's everything that I would say a customer wants to see and everything that a dealer wants to have. Before, what most people don't understand is that these two brands were managed in separate parts of this big, huge organization we've got, the C&H, and so now we're trying to make things easier for everybody. We're trying to make it easier to do business with New Holland. And so now if a customer wants to, say a landscaper wants to come to a New Holland ag dealer, he can go there, buy a compact tractor, perhaps got a mower deck with a loader, but if he also wants to buy a skid steer, there was never an assurance that New Holland ag dealer would have skid steers. Now, part of this whole restructuring here is to have that New Holland dealer represent all the different pieces of equipment that we offer. Make it easier. And for the dealer, it's one contract. We would have one contract instead of two different contracts, two different sets of books, two different ordering numbers. All of that kind of stuff is now going to be a lot easier for our dealers to be able to work with us and order and sell equipment. And then, of course, the customer is the big beneficiary. If something goes down with his machine, he can go in there and service is going to be in one location. We'll do service for the construction as well as the New Holland ag side. Easy. We want to be easy to do business with.
Well, it sounds like internally more efficiencies, externally with your dealers and customers. Really, it's bringing some benefits to them, so everybody's kind of winning by this process.
Yeah, but the whole idea here now is to bring them together, but to also grow this business. I'd say for several years the construction brand had maybe lost a little bit of focus, lost a little energy, and what we're trying to redo here at New Holland Ag now that we're running construction is to re-energize it. Just like we've done, we've talked a lot about the rejuvenation of New Holland here over the last 3 years. Well, we're going to do the same thing with the construction brand. Give it energy, give it some juice, give it some attention, give it focus, make sure that we're really exploring as much as possible on the municipal side, making sure we're hitting each one of those segments, the landscapers, the dairy farmer who uses some of the construction equipment, maybe it's the cattleman who's also using this construction equipment. So to give every one of these groups a lot more focus and a lot more resources. Here at New Holland Ag, we have a lot more resources than it being off on its own. And so we're really excited. The whole team here is really excited about bringing everything back together the way it was under the old Ford days. This is where it all came from. Ford had an incredible legacy in construction, and we're pulling all that back together again. And so expect growth, expect more products, expect more visibility. Expect to see a lot more New Holland.
Well, how is that process going to this point? And talk about looking ahead in terms of where you see things going with this process.
Sure. Okay. So we began in January. We didn't want to create shake up the world too much. So we've been really doing this integration in steps. We first integrated our sales team. So so basically the dealers that we work with would have the same people working with them that they had in the past. That's gone well. We began to introduce new programs for marketing. Before we really didn't market these programs together, and now we have a bundle up and save, and we even have Spanish language programming. Aurar, Juntar y Aurar is our program for Spanish speakers because we have a lot of Spanish speakers that are buying these products. So our programming now, you buy a baler, you buy a skid steer, you're going to get bigger savings. And then finally in March we began to pilot going with one dealer code. Combining the contracts, going with one dealer code. So that's kind of now beginning. It's beginning to happen. and we're going to go full-fledged by, I believe it's by the end of the summer. We'll have one dealer code. And then finally, the big thing is our dealer contracts themselves. Some dealers today don't have construction at all in their dealership. Well, we're going to open this up. We're going to open up our construction brand to New Holland Ag dealers. And then on the other side, we have some pure just construction dealers. Maybe that we don't have New Holland Ag representation in their area. So we're also going to approach some of those guys to see if they might want to represent the New Holland Ag brand. So those are the kinds of things that we're doing in order to really build this brand back up to where it needs to be. And I'll just tell you one other thing, Chuck, that's really important, is that we have a proposition now for that entrepreneur that wants to get into business. We've got not only this full array of compact equipment and hay tools, but now you add the construction into that, and now you've got a going business. We believe that we're going to be able to attract a lot more entrepreneurs to think about coming into the New Holland ag and construction brand as a business. And hopefully we're going to attract more people to this great company. And you know what it's all about in this business, right? When you're trying to sell iron, you got to have great dealers out there. So we're looking for good dealers, good entrepreneurs that can help us grow this brand.
Well, it sounds like, what did I hear? New Holland Smart, right? Something like that?
New Holland Smart. They're not only built New Holland Smart, but we're going about things the New Holland Smart way.
All right. Well, thank you, Abe Hughes, Vice President for North America, giving us an update on the integration together of New Holland agriculture and construction. I'm Chuck Zimmerman.